Pacific Gold.
Explosive Matter wins the Colonial easily.
Underway.
Starting fast outside here, Brent Messenger to the early. 55 and 4 the halftime. Just over 3 to go. At the top of the stretch.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the harness racing capital of the world. It is Pennsylvania, we say proudly, and this is PA Harness Week. Hi, I'm Steve Ross, along with a lady who we affectionately refer to around here as HMO. Well, actually, we don't actually refer to around here as HMO. I sort of made that up, but it was convenient, so that's the only way I lie anyway. This is Heather Moffat. I'm Steve Ross. So nice of you to be here and join us in the aftermath of a day which was Super Stake Sunday. I guess if we had to categorize it in one word, Heather, it would be interesting. Would you agree?
I agree, yes.
It was an interesting day, and it was something that happened. Like, you can make plans a long time ahead, like Harris Chester did for this big day. And what is the expression? People make plans and God laughs. That's what happened, because it was the end of the world. So much rain we took in. We were almost like the Titanic. But it was a great day of racing nonetheless. And let's get right to it. The Battle of Brandywine, $500,000 on the line. It was a pace for 3-year-old pacers with great tradition. And with that, here's Heather.
Yeah, I just want to mention, with all the rain, also came a rainbow.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, a pot of gold for a few big winners.
Absolutely.
We're going to get to that. Right now, yes, the battle. And here we have One More Laugh, also known as the $1 million Meadowlands Pace winner. And he is your bettor's choice. And here's a super close second choice is Rock and Roll Heaven, who's trained by Bruce Saunders. And then there's Del Marvelous, who is in top form right now, coming off of 2 big victories.
And they're off for the Battle of the Brandywine. It was an awkward start for BG's Folly, who gave them 5-length start. World of Rock and Roll was fastest away. Fred and Ginger left well from the extreme outside. Del Marvelous is in a good early spot. 3rd and 3.5 lengths off the pace. It's a gap of 2 to We Will See, who will race from 4th. One More Laugh is settled in the mid-division, and he's 7.5 lengths off a fast pace. Rock and Roll Heaven's just behind him. Versado is second last. And after the sluggish start, BG's Folly has dropped back 13 lengths behind World of Rock and Roll through an ambitious 26-1 first quarter. They come past us the first time. World of Rock and Roll leads by 2.5 lengths over Good Going. Fred and Ginger closes up the pocket. Del Marvelous remains up close to the pace from 3rd. We Will See is racing still from midfield and 5 lengths from the front. One More Laugh got his cue from Tim Tetrick. He slid to the outside. And it looks like he's flushing Del Marvelous out from 3rd, so One More Laugh. The 6-5 favorite is second over, and 4.5 lengths off the lead. Rock and Roll Heaven's in the clear with 6 lengths to make up. Versado is second last. The trailer remains BG's Folly through a 53 4.5 mile. 3/8 to go, and the 34th Battle of the Brandywine. And World of Rock and Roll's lead is gone. It's been overtaken. Del Marvelous has taken the lead on the outside. One More Laugh's been towed up into 3rd. World of Rock and Roll showed no resistance to Del Marvelous. Fred and Ginger is buried at the pylons, overtaken by Rock and Roll Heaven. And now One More Laugh is up level with Del Marvelous inside the 3/16. 3/4 at 121 flat. They turn for home at Battle 34. One More Laugh's ahead in front, racing for the challenge of Rock and Roll Heaven. Del Marvelous full out, a 16th to go, and Rock and Roll Heaven has the upper hand. Rock and Roll Heaven wins.
Rock and Roll Heaven travels on the outside, does have some cover, and he comes from behind on and off track.
Yes, he did.
Rated good that day. Last quarter, 27 seconds flat. He wins easily in 1:48 4. That's a stakes record. He has Dan Dube in the driver's seat.
And it should be mentioned that One More Laugh got a perfect second over trip behind Del Marvelous, and Rock and Roll Heaven was behind him and outbrushed him.
Yeah,
so he was clearly the best.
Oh yeah, Rock and Roll Heaven, huge that day. One More Laugh did finish second, so he was still smiling to the bank. And We Will See 10-1. This horse seems to always be overlooked, but always right there. So We Will See also raced great. And here's more on that big win.
An absolutely incredible win today. Is this the best 3-year-old out there?
It's been a toss-up, I think, between my colt and Ray's colt. Just depends on who works out the trip. I think today we got the better of the trips. For me, with some roots in the Delaware Valley, it's very special. You know, I raced Brandywine and Liberty Bell for years before I went up north. I still consider this my home to race and to come here and win the signature race for Harris at Chester, who does a great job hosting this race. You know, the PHHA, everybody's been involved in putting on this race, has done a sensational job here. I don't even think the weather dampened, you know, the festivities. And for me, you know, it was just extra special getting our picture taken with a great colt.
Usually he's better on the front, but he's just a nice horse to drive. He do everything right, and he responds so good from behind.
And he's got no quit in him, does he?
No, he keep fighting to the wire. You know, he never give up.
Now, what's next on his dance card, Danny?
I think that's a Little Brown Jug and Breeders' Crown, and you get one race at Lexington, and I think it's done for the year.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have more of the big day on Super Stakes Sunday, including the Colonial and a lot of action from Pocono Downs. So stay with us.
And they're off in the Colonial.
Welcome back to Harris Chester Casino and Racetrack, and happily a lot of the stuff is dried out here because it was so on Sunday. Even the parking lot took a lot of water. I mean, it was teeming like unbelievably, wasn't it?
It was. It was.
Okay. In the Colonial, which is steeped in deep tradition, started at Liberty Bell in 1968 when Neverly Pride won for Stanley Dancer, and the purse was $100,000. It was 5 times more this time around, and Harris Chester, to their credit, renewed this great race. Lucky Chucky, who was second in Hambletonian as the 3-2 favorite with John Campbell, was hammered down to 1-5 favoritism. Pilgrim's Taj from the rail was a generous 6-1 with Mike LaChance. Wishing Stone, who was third in the Hambo, went off at 8-1 with the Minister of Speed, George Brennan, and let's see how that heat turned out.
And they're off in the Colonial. And Cassis is sent right for the front from the extreme outside. Temple of Doom up the near side, and Lucky Chucky's up close too. But Cassis is crossed and cleared, moving into the first turn. Temple of Doom secures the pocket, and Lucky Chucky is forced to drive on from the outside. From the front trio, it's 2 lengths back to Pilgrim's Taj in fourth. Hard Livin' is parked from midfield, and 7 lengths from the front. Jack is back is next, followed by Wishing Stone. The trailer is on the tab, and Lucky Chucky cleared with effort from Cassis through a 28-1 first quarter. So it's a sensible clip, and Lucky Chucky, the 1-5 favorite, has made the front with just over a lap to go. Cassis will track from the pocket at 10-1. Temple of Doom sits in from third. Pilgrim's Taj is first over. And now 3 lengths from the front. Hard Livin' will draft with him. Jack is back, is locked in, 5 lengths off the lead. Wishing Stone floated third over from the back of the pack. A joint last with On the Tab. They're covered by 6.5 lengths. And Lucky Chucky reached race's midpoint at 57 3/5 seconds. They straighten away up the backstretch in the 40th edition of the Colonial. And Lucky Chucky's being prompted along by the first over Pilgrim's Taj. Cassis tracks loosely in the pocket. Hard Livin' is in a good striking spot, 2 lengths off the lead and second over. Wishing Stone is drawn level with Temple of Doom. They're 3.5 from the front. Jack is back, has 5 lengths to make up, saving ground the whole way. And 3.5 last is On the Tab. 3/4 in 125-2. And Lucky Chucky pulls away. Lucky Chucky's now 4 in front. From Cassis, Pilgrim's Taj levels off. Temple of Doom is buried in the pylons. Hard Livin' still with some 7 lengths to raise. Lucky Chucky opens up by 9.
Well, the betting public nailed this bad boy big time. I mean, Lucky Chucky was the best, and nobody was beating Lucky Chucky on this particular Sunday. No way. John Campbell toyed with his overmatched rivals. He looked chilly sitting in the bike like a statue and never lifted a line in anger. One off by himself by 8.5. But perhaps the craziest thing happened in the stretch when Lucky Chucky, there was a separation of Lucky Chucky, a torrential downpour, and the rest of his opponents. So it wasn't enough to contend with Lucky Chucky. They had to deal with Mother Nature in the stretch. Was that weird or what?
It was, but it was awesome. It really was.
It was certainly unusual, if nothing else. Yeah, Temple of Doom won a good trip and was second for Dave Miller, a nondescript second. And Cassis, who was a legitimate trotter with great speed, Lucky Chucky blew by him like he was tied to a hitching post. Unbelievable. He's lived for third.